Nintendo is one of my favorite systems to collect for. There are so many great games, and many of them still hold up really well today. And you can't really say that about too many of the early 3D games that came out on later consoles.
Where did you learn to fly?
Today we are going to be looking at Soul Blazer. Well, it's not the most impressive in the Super Nintendo lineup. It's one I enjoyed quite a lot, and it's one I would still recommend today for anyone looking to pick up a fun 16-bit classic.
Soul Blazer is a dungeon crawler action RPG with a dash of puzzle solving, but what really sets this game apart is its unique story and the way the game reveals itself to you along the way. As the story goes, a greedy king summoned an evil entity known as Death Toll to strike a deal. Death Toll would pay 1 piece of gold for every living sacrifice. Before long, the king had sacrificed every living thing, and the land was empty. The ominous presence known as the Master has called on you to descend to Earth on a ray of light. Your task is to revive the living and punish evil. As you take out waves of monsters, you will gain experience points, level up, and collect gems that can be used to cast magic. When you seal off the monster spawn points, you will release souls back to the world of the living. The more living creatures you restore, the more things you'll be able to do. You'll have new people to interact with and new places to explore. Sometimes you'll need to interact with someone you've released in order to progress further in the underworld, and vice versa. This makes for a very rewarding experience since you can see the physical difference as you are making progress. Anything you do could potentially unlock new areas of the game. There are several different types of areas to explore, some where you'll only interact with plants and animals, others with humans, sea life, or other creature types. At the end of each area is a boss that, once defeated, will release the soul of the leader from that area. The whole atmosphere of the game is a bit mournful and has its subtle sweet moments. It is definitely a sidestep from the traditional Save the Princess story. It touches a bit on reincarnation, loved ones past, reunited souls, dreams, and other similar topics. Speaking of dreams, one of the other things you'll need to do occasionally is enter the dreams of the sleeping to communicate with them in order to progress in certain areas. Overall, this is a very enjoyable game. It's one that I completed around the time it was released, and I still enjoyed playing through to the end again recently. The music is decent. Many of the sound effects were recycled from ActRaiser, but that isn't something I would take points off for. And the graphics are alright for an early Super Nintendo game. They are colorful and fairly simple. Let's just say I've seen better and I've seen worse. Soul Blazer is a game that doesn't demand too much of your time. The game should only take around 8 hours, more or less, depending on how fast you run through it and whether or not you do any side quests. The good news is that if you do play all the way through and you are craving more, there are 2 spiritual successors to Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia and Terranigma. Unfortunately, Terranigma was not released in the US, but you can import it, obtain a reproduction cartridge, or simply emulate it.
Unfortunately, the price of this game has been climbing lately. You can find it for around $40 on eBay, but if you're lucky, you might just be able to find it out in the wild, much cheaper. Anyway, this has been my quick review of Soul Blazer on the Super Nintendo, and be sure to subscribe for more news, reviews, and unboxings. See you guys later.